We live with the repetitions of catastrophe, not only catastrophe, but repetitions of resistance. And if we look at and kind of document the stories that have happened in our communities with our family members, there's wisdom there. And I think it's important for us to keep on looking back in order to know how we want to go forward. My name is Adrian Burrell, and I'm the creator of Now and Then.
These chains binding me in the dawn's early light, drowning out my fire.
It's important to tell Black stories because if we're not in control of the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and where we come from, then that means that somebody else is. So my grandmother had 16 kids. 12 of those kids had 58. 58 had 112, and 112 had 158. And we all pretty much grew up in Oakland, California. And as I got older and I started to think about, my cousins, aunts, and uncles, I was curious like how this sprawl happened. Like, I'm saying? Where did it all start? So I started interviewing my grandmother, and she told me about her migration story out of Louisiana and running from the Klan with her husband and all those different things. And so I just got curious about other people's stories and other aspects of Black history and how to preserve and archive those stories. I think that our oral histories are important because it's not so much about the story. It's more so like when I'm physically with an elder and I have to, I'm taking in their stories and I'm taking in their gestures and the way they're emoting or not emoting, and all of that, something special about that you can't get from a written text. And I think that whatever that is like for me, the most important part about oral storytelling or oral traditions or oral histories is being in a space, creating a certain kind of safety and a connection between you and a loved one that is unmeasurable, it's uncapturable.
There have always been some good Black people. And there's always been some bad Black people. It has always been some good white folk. And there always have been some bad white folk. Emmett Till was killed in Mondays about 18 miles from here. Ain't you never heard of Emmett Till? After Emmett Till got killed, they really left here. A lot of them left.
When we was making Now and Then, I was thinking a lot about the blues. I was like watching Beast of the Southern Wild and listening to the soundtrack. I was going through old family photos and just thinking about the stories that my grandmother told me and really sitting in those swamps and just being quiet. It took us over a year to kind of just go over the script with the writer and just getting everything right, getting props, locations. And after that, I didn't make a lot of money. Matter of fact, I didn't make no money, but I was happy. I did something that I loved. I found this thing that I loved doing. I was like, if I can do this thing for free and be happy, I should probably find a way to keep doing this and maybe get paid for it. The whole environment brings its own tone. When you're driving through them woods and through them areas, like you feel it, you feel them spirits. And that kind of really drove the artistic direction of the film. After watching Now and Then, if you don't think nothing else, when you walk away, I want you to think, let me call my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? If you still got them. You know what I'm saying? Or an aunt or an uncle, if you still got them. Or parents, if you still got them. And ask them questions that you never asked them before. In terms of like barriers, on the obvious level, there's the monetary barrier, right? Because a lot of the times we don't come from the same families or communities that have this generational wealth where people can kind of open up the floodgates for you and say, okay, well, here goes something to help you out, help you make your project. And then on another level, you know what I'm saying, it's like a lot of the people who are the gatekeepers, they don't share the same cultural identity as me. So a lot of times they can't see my culture or see my stories as something that's valuable. I think what inspires me as an artist is this idea of capturing your own head, right? Like getting free, like thinking about history and its afterlives as it relates to me and my family and the history of this country, and reinterpreting it and really pulling out the themes and values and stories that brings me closer to not only Blackness and to my community, but to myself.